Hi, and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits.
And I'm Callie, also known as Calsters.
And today is Sunday, May 7th, 2017. This is episode 281. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back one more week. And if you're new, hopefully you enjoy today's show and you'll come back in the future. So, it's been quite a while since we've had this lovely lady sitting next to me. But we're glad to have her back. And we're glad to be here podcasting today. It's been some challenges getting here today, but we're here and we love recording for you guys. So while we've been scrambling around trying to get everything together to show you our progress and things to talk about and prizes and giveaways, we're here, we're sitting down, and let's just get on with the show. So it's been 2 weeks for myself since I've seen you last, and things have been a bit hectic and a bit crazy. So last time we had talked, I think Andy and I had just gotten done vending at the fiber event in Greencastle. Yes? No, that was the week prior to the last recording, because it's been 3 weeks since our last show. So we've been busy prepping for our next show, which was supposed to be yesterday in Iowa at Shepherd's Market. And then been teaching, getting ready for the end of the school year. I have 2 full weeks left and 3 days, so 13 days and counting. But I did have to take Tuesday off. I wasn't feeling all that great, but then Thursday night, I woke up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, actually, so Friday morning, actually. Not feeling that great, feeling like somebody had donkey kicked me in my back and pain going through to my stomach. And after about a half hour, I realized that I needed to probably go to the ER. And so I woke Andy up, and we drove to our little small ER. It's not even a hospital anymore. They've reconfigured it to like a medical center, but they still do have an emergency room there. So they were very, very friendly for 4:30 in the morning, and I was there for about 2 hours. First time being in a wheelchair, first time getting a CT scan, and it turned out I still have a kidney stone. Have not passed it yet. It's been I'm on day 3, and man, those of you who have suffered from kidney stones, I put something out on Instagram and Facebook. I am so sorry that you've had to go through this, and somebody had posted that they had been through 52 in their life, and I don't know how you've done it. I guess maybe you get used to it, like a lot of things, but it was very, very bad Friday morning once I got out of the hospital about 6:30, and I could not fill my pain med prescription until about 9. And luckily, having family close is a benefit anymore. My mom came over and picked up my prescription for me, and I slept most of Friday. Friday afternoon, I got up about 2:30, and I was feeling a little bit better, so I thought maybe things were on the up and up. So Andy packed up the trailer, and I kind of shuffled around the house, and we were going to head to Iowa for Shepherd's Market. We got about 15 minutes to on the road, not even to your town, and I started to have another attack of pain, and Andy said, no, we're not going. This is the first time we ever had to cancel an event, but I'm so glad that we did, because I don't think I would have been fun to be around. I don't think it would have been a very pleasurable experience, and Yarn and Fiber Festival should be fun, right? It's our hobby, it's our craft, and so we came back home, and I slept most of Friday night as well, and yeah, so we had to miss Shepherd's Market yesterday in Iowa, and I'm so sorry if any of you came out in the hopes of seeing us. I'm sure there were plenty of other wonderful vendors there. I know Sarah of Yarn Geek Fibers was there, and so I'm sure you were able to pick up at least some pretties there. But yeah, it's been in and out until about last night, about 10 o'clock, and I got hit with another really bad bout of pain that lasted throughout the night. And so I told Callie, I said she was lucky at about 7 a.m. something happened, and I am right now, knock on wood, pain-free. So I'm hoping that this thing passes soon. It is not fun. You know, they tell you it's the size of a grain of salt, even though mine's a 4 millimeter, if that means anything to you guys. They said up to a 4 millimeter should pass by itself. So I'm, the largest of the free passing kidney stones. And they say it's like a grain of salt. I salt my rear end. It's a kidney boulder, is what it is. So, yeah. That's been my life recently, so I'm hoping that things clear up here today and I can go back to work tomorrow. Because if I'm in the bout of pain that I was in last night, I can't be in front of my kids on the floor, you know, writhing and using expletives, which is what I've been doing. So it's my coping mechanism. So that's been my life for the last 2 weeks. Back over to you, Callie.
My it's been about a month for me, although we did record, but we didn't have it actually have sound, so there's that.
Yeah, who would have thunk? Trying to use microphones to get better sound, and you get no sound.
Yep. My last month has been really good. I have some follow-up appointments going on for health stuff. One being tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. Because I think it should have some good news to it, so there's always that. Been busy with, I hosted my leadership classes graduation the last time that you recorded solo.
Which, by the way, if you follow Callie on Instagram, you saw her amazing dress she was in, because she was looking mighty fine. So I'm just saying, check out Calisters88 on Instagram and be looking at that professional, very nice dress. She looked beautiful. So.
Thank you. It felt really good and felt really beautiful. And so I had that, and it went well. The class did really well. They did something different this year for their graduation. They had them seated on the stage, and they didn't have them seated alphabetically, so they kind of had to like get up and walk in between their classmates. And for someone that's not super graceful in any sense of the word, I was like, please don't let any of them trip. Please don't let any of them fall. Please don't let any of them wipe out or anything. And they did really well. None of them tripped. None of them fell. None of them wiped out. So that was really good.
I don't remember walking across the stage at my college graduation, because that's all that was going through my head was don't trip, don't fall, shake their hand, get off the stage. And before I knew it, they did our pictures right afterwards. And so I was like, oh, I'm in front of a camera. I'm off stage. What happened?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. And then that following weekend was... so you go from the high of being in this super sassy dress, heels and everything, hair done. And then the next weekend I was supervising sheep and goat tattooing, and it was rainy, it was windy, we had sideline rain, and it was just awful. Now, I'm not gonna, sugarcoat it by any means. We did not get the worst of it. I mean, so a lot of our folks that watch that are in Missouri and Southern Illinois, you guys, thoughts and prayers with you guys going through all that flooding and water damage, because what we got was teensy compared to what you guys got. So hopefully those that are affected are getting, all the help and whatnot that you guys need. So as a funny side note, so I was wearing my fleece that I have for work that has our little logo and stuff. And if you've ever actually met me in real life, you probably have seen me wear it. And so I was went to the gym the next morning, and I was opened my locker after I had gotten back from the shower, and I was like, oh my God, what is that smell? That is nasty. It was my coat. It was so disgusting. There was still veg matter from the sheep on there, because at one point I was doing the I was not tattooing the sheep or the goats, but I was trying to get their ear tags and all of that to record to then send off to the state. And I was like, this is disgusting. Someone should have told me that this was disgusting. So I had a break from work where I got to go home for a few hours. So I double washed it and triple dried it with so much fabric sheets. Don't worry, I already know fabric sheets are not good for me. You don't have to send me they will cause cancer. I'm well aware, but there is nothing more that I enjoy than 5 sheets of snuggle in my fleece jacket and it coming out warm, and then I have to go to another event outside later that evening, and I'm
You
I
find
smell
one in your
delicious.
sleeve, you know.
Yeah.
My mom used to use dryer sheets. We don't. We just use fabric softener anymore. But I remember, you know, you go put on a pant leg and one shoots out.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah, other than that, this week has been busy. My whole month of May will be busy. At the end of May, I'm going to a wedding as a guest. And then the first weekend in June, I will be in a wedding that I have some complainy pants. But we're not going to issue that right now. So, that's where I'm at.
Well, let's get to the knitting, shall we? What's taking a bow this episode? I have something. I'm so excited. I finished a Aranthera, that is Aranthera, because I did have some questions on YouTube. And this is by Jen Lucas, who's a wonderful designer. I had the pleasure of meeting her at YarnCon this year. And this is knit out of Leading Men Fiber Arts Diva, which is a 80% superwash merino, 20% silk. Base fingering weight, and it comes in 150 gram put up, so it's a skein and a half, essentially 600 yards. And I used about 510, I think. And I did extend the pattern. It calls for 12 of these body repeats, and I did 15 before I bound off. I might have had enough to do another one, but I kind of told myself 15 was a good number and finished it. So I did block it, but because of that silk and I had it folded up, you can see a little bit of fold marks in there. I do need to take some finished modeled shots, but love the drape on this, and you know, I love a good boomerang, and this just gave it a little bit of something to think about while knitting. A little bit of garter, a little bit of stockinette, a little bit of easy lace, eyelet lace. So nothing, and I don't think the lace is too effeminate. You know what I mean? I could wear this as a shop sample in the booth, and I might. We'll just see. I was hoping to maybe wear it this weekend, but that didn't happen. So, really enjoyed this. This was knit on a size 4 US. Yep, a 3.5 millimeter needle, and I don't know if I said this was the Dirty Truce colorway. I may apologize if I repeat myself or leave out some information. I will try my best, but I'm on a few painkillers right now, so you'll forgive me. That's another reason why I'm not knitting on the show today. So, but yeah, really enjoyed this, and it was great to knit on. It shows. I highly recommend it. It is available for purchase on Ravelry, and great for that one skein of yarn. She originally designed it out of our show stealer base, so you can use just a 100 gram skein of sock yarn. It does not need to be a semi-solid. Again, the simplicity of the lace and everything, I think, will let a variegated speak with it as well. So that's what I finished these past 2 weeks.
Just because I've been really busy, I have not finished anything. I'm not really sorry about it.
Life happens, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's move into what's performing this week. First for me is my Rogers S Cardigan Jacket by Mary Townsend. I'm using Barocco Weekend DK in color number 2144, which is squash, and I'm using a size 3 and 5 US, which is 3.25 and 3.75 millimeter needles, and I'm almost done with the first sleeve. So I worked on this last night while watching a movie, and as you can see, if I put it there, comes up to there. I got to do about another 2 inches before I do the shoulder shaping up here. So, and then I just got to knit another one of these. But this is super easy to knit, the sleeve. So, I just don't give it as much love as it needs. And I said that last time. But you know what? No matter if I finish it now or I finish it next year, I still will have a sweater that I may or may not fit into. But somebody will. And you know me. I'm a process knitter, not a product knitter. If I get a product that I can use, great. If not, somebody will use it. So, next up is my Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry, and I'm currently still working with the yarn Happy Go Lucky HGL Sock in the Ice King colorway. I think I have 1 or 2 more rows of the lace before I do a little bit of more garter and work in the 5th color, which next is going to be Wandering Wool, Alsable Sock, and the Knitting in the Nashville Night. Sorry. Sitting there looking at all the yarns going, oh god, which one is it? I can't think. Put me in the spotlight there. So there's that purple and blue, the Ice King. And here, as we've seen, now for a long time. There's the start. So I need to wrap this up because I'm going to be dyeing yarn for my Hohi Mystery Along that, I'm going to join in on. And that's 5 full skeins of sock yarn. This is 7. I need to get this off the needles before I start that thing. But I've picked my colors and I'm super excited. And it's going to have a custom speckled colorway that I may or may not premiere later, or it may just be for me and my project since I'm a dyer and I can do that, right? I can have a one-of-a-kind yarn that may have another skein with it because I dye in sets of 2 for that particular dye technique. So maybe Callie will get it.
Yes.
And that's then on a size 4 as well, US 3.5 millimeter needles. Next up is my Pop Art Pop-Tart hat by Sarah Abram. I'm using Barocco Voyage in color number 4034, which is Kettle, and Sandsgarn Alpaca in color number 6765, which is Teal. And that is in this bag. And I'm using a size 5 US 3.75 millimeter needle. This is what the pattern calls for. It calls for you to do the ribbing and the hat in the same size and to increase your stitches after the ribbing. My hat is coming out very small, and while I would say that that might be color work, I'm keeping my floats pretty loose. So I'm not sure I would say check your gauge. Either myself or Sarah or you may have different color work gauge than what the pattern is. So as you can see here, I have the cuff already rolled up. Here is, if I can catch the lighting right, you can see the circles. And I've got another set of circles and then the decreased circles to do, and then I will be decreasing. Now it does stretch, but that's not going to fit my noggin. So I'm already anticipating that this is probably going to be either my niece or nephew's one of their Christmas gifts. And then I'll let Andy decide whether I should put a pom-pom on top or not, depending on who it goes to, I guess. So, but I do like the colors. It's not pow in your face like the original pattern, which was pink and then a variegated, but I haven't done color work in forever, and I'm going old school, really slow style color work where I drop and pick up the yarn every time, but it makes me, I don't get as fast, but it makes me feel comfortable, and it's my happy place if I'm going to do it. So, and I told myself there's no knitting police sitting over watching over my shoulder while I knit saying, Steve, you know how to knit with both hands for color work, you should be doing that. Well, maybe I should be, but I'm not. So all right, and last but not least is my Rumor Has It Stockinette Boomerang, and this was our May 2017 colorway of the month called Rumor Has It. Pre-orders are closing tomorrow, so if you are interested in this, hop on over to the shop, leadingmenfiberarts.bigcartel.com. You have until probably Tuesday morning when I get up, and I'll close all the pre-orders. So this is the colorway Rumor Has It.
Do you enjoy that?
I love this. I'm not going to lie. This one is probably going to be my new go-to boomerang this winter. So there's that. And this is the stockinette version. I do have notes on my project page on Ravelry, Dramatic Knits over there, for how to do this. It doesn't tell you, the beginning's a little fiddly. I mean, you kind of have to be intuitive before you start into the stockinette. But it's just my pattern notes. It's not an actual pattern, so there's that. I should tell you as well, if you are in the Midwest, I am going to be teaching my boomerang class at Fiber U in Lebanon, Missouri this July 15th and 16th maybe. It's a Saturday, Sunday, I believe. I have 2 classes open. It's $5. I'm one of the cheapest classes to get into there. $5 to take my class. It says 2 hours. It will not take that long. I told them an hour at most, and they scheduled me 2. So, but they did ask me to kind of promote that. So if you are within driving distance of there and you'd like to go shopping at the market, and there are tons of wonderful classes on a variety of fiber arts, you can check them out. Just Google fiber and then the letter U, and it's under the MOPACA Association if you find it there. So that's all that I'm knitting on. I'm getting a little dry mouthed. I used to talking this much.
I'm only working on one thing right now, and it's Fancy Pants Fibers Firefly Self-Striping colorway. It's in their Dapper base, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. This is where I'm at. So I did put in for the Afterthought heel, and now I'm working on the foot. And so I'm not really doing a whole lot. Life has been really busy, as I've kind of mentioned before. We're getting into fair season. It's really busy for us because we are doing a whole new system. Whole new system in every sense of the word. So we have really been putting in a lot of hours and time on that. And I should not say it being like me. My coworker Leah is doing the bulk of it, but I also was the last stop for the fair book edits. So that took some time to do. So
you don't need to make excuses. Your life is your life. You know what I mean? You don't need to apologize for not having some progress this week. People just enjoy you being on the show, because I can't tell you how many times every week people, I really wish Callie was on the show. Well, thanks, I was on the show, but, whatever.
I appreciate you all.
They're all worried about Callie, but it's okay. I'll survive.
I also promise that I'm not overworking myself, because those days are done. So
I got there several years ago, and it's freeing, isn't it? It's a little bit freeing. I mean, you're still stressed, but I used to be the yes boy. Now I'm the no man. So, all right, in rehearsal. I don't know if I have anything. I've been itching to cast something on, but I'm like, no, I really need to focus on, finishing some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm planning on casting on for the Starting Point Mystery Knit Along by Joji Locatelli. That comes out on the 12th, I believe, and there'll be a new clue every week. It is like 1,700 yards, 5 full skeins. It's gonna be crazy, but I'm excited because
Is it supposed to be a shawl? What is it supposed to be?
It's pretty much a scarf, a stole, shawl. It's rectangular, but it's like 70 inches by 26 inches. So it's kind of one of those scrunch fold over things. So whether I'll wear it in the end, I don't know, but I'm a follower, so. All right, let's talk behind the scenes. My spinning. I did finish my final commission spin. I'm so excited. I sent it off. I did spin 2 4-ounce braids of Malabrigo Noob, one in the Palomo colorway, the other one in the Candombe colorway, and I plied them together, and I got 272 yards of a bulky weight, and let's see if I can bring that up. Oh, I had it up. No, it doesn't want to. Here we go. So there, you can kind of see there. So, enjoyed that. It was a big, hefty skein. Hefty. So I sent that off, and I used my random number generator, and I didn't bring anything over here. I'm almost done spinning the singles already, if you can believe it, and I'm doing it kind of thin. I'm spinning some Yarn Geek Fibers Falkland in the it's a funny name and I can't say it. What is it? Hi, my name is Dan Hoover. I don't know the joke, but I thought it was suiting because I had actually purchased that at Shepherd's Market last year, and so I was hoping to be like, oh, it's a year later, I'm finally spinning that fiber, at least it's within a year, and then I didn't get to go, so, but I am doing that at 2-ply fractal, and that'll hopefully be either up in the online shop or at a festival or booth location near you soon. So we'll see. So spinning that, enjoying it. So let's move on into In the Spotlight. What are we watching and reading? I do not have any new books to talk about. I've kind of been just listening to the radio to and from work, which has kind of been nice. But I am still listening to a book here while I'm spinning. Like I said, I got it from the Knit Girl, or the 2 Knit Lit Chicks recommendation, and I started listening to it when Tracy started listening to it, and then I listened to their next episode. She's like, don't read this book, it's not that great. So I'm going to finish it, though. I'm a finisher, I don't leave things. So we'll see where it goes. It's just a long book, and it's taking a while to get anywhere, so. But I'll tell you about that later. I did watch 2 movies with Andy over the past 2 weeks. We watched Rogue One last weekend. He was super excited since he missed out on going to see that while it was in theaters. I enjoyed it. I actually probably enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the most recent Star Wars part of the series. You know what I mean? These were separate. Rogue One is. They're doing like alternating between the series and separate movies, I guess. They're going to have 3 separate movies. It was much darker, and I don't know. I enjoyed it, I think, a little bit better. And then last night we watched Now You See Me Too. I enjoyed it. I missed out a little bit of the ending because that's when my last pain attack kicked in, and I was, dealing with that. But enjoyed it. I didn't have much expectations going into it because I was like, one, I hate a sequel that just tacks on the number 2 in the title. I feel like that's a cop-out. But I was like, where are they going to go from here? And I don't know. It was all right, though. I'd say if you're looking for something to have on in the background while you're knitting like I was doing, it's entertaining. So that is that in terms of what I'm watching and reading.
I read a book in about 72 hours last weekend, and it was kind of smutty. So it is what it is.
There's that.
It was given to me on recommendation, which I find hilarious. Storyline-wise, I get why it was recommended, but I was like, there's a lot of smut in this. And she was like, I totally kind of forgot about that. I blocked it out. And I was like, really? That's a good chunk of it. And obviously it was so memorable that I can't remember the actual title of it.
So there's that.
But right now I'm reading This Is Just My Face, Try Not to Stare by Gabby Sidibe. I always have problems pronouncing her name, but she played Precious in the movie Precious, and she's also on Empire. And so
she's been on American Horror Story too.
Oh.
A couple seasons.
I don't watch the show, so that's good to know. But the book is really good so far, and I'm actually going to meet her next Friday in Naperville at Anderson's Bookshop. If you are local to the Chicagoland area, Naperville has this great independent bookstore, Anderson's, and they have a store in Downers Grove as well, and they do a lot of local events to kind of like give like awareness to different non-for-profits in their area, but they also bring a lot of big name authors and celebrities to book signings. Like if you are a fan of the Chicago Cubs, Grandpa Ross is going to be there doing a book signing in July. So if that suits your fancy, you can definitely buy tickets now for it. And it's one of those great independent bookstores that you should get on their mailing list, so then that way you can see who's coming, because they've had everybody from Chris Coffer to Anne Rice to, I think Stephen King did a signing many, many, many years ago. But they had J.K. Rowling when she first came out. They have had Meg Cabot, who wrote the Princess Diaries series. I mean, they've had a lot of really big name authors. So if that is something that you enjoy doing, it's totally worth getting on their mailing list for. So I'm doing that next Friday. As far as things that I'm watching, not really watching a whole lot of anything. If anything, I'm catching up on our DBR, and that's really not worthwhile in terms of mentioning. A lot of catching up with Jimmy Fallon clips. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Nice. Well, we have a giveaway this week, and it kind of runs over with Center Stage, so forgive me for that. I usually try to keep shop stuff to the end. But we do have a new giveaway this week, and it's for some patterns. So a new pattern was just released in this last 2 weeks that features Leading Men Fiber Arts, specifically our Dramaturg base, which is our DK weight base. And we have been in the works on this pattern for well over a year, and I'm so happy to see it finally released. We've had the sample in our booth ever since Madison Knitters Guild Knit In way back in March, and it's finally had its day, and it's out, and I'm so excited. And the wonderful designer, who is Megan Sanders, we've talked about her a lot in the past, she has graciously donated 5 copies of the pattern to viewers like you. So she is going to give away 5 copies of the pattern, and the pattern is the Rosalie cardigan. And I'm going to bend a little bit out of frame. We didn't have room back here to have my no-name mannequin, but this is what the Rosalie cardigan looks like. And it's a non-closured open front cardigan with, you start off with the collar band here, and it has a flip back collar band done in ribbing. It's got some garter detail, very simple garter detail under the arms, which is very nice. Ribbing, stockinette all the way around. And this is in our Lucky Charm colorway, which has gotten a lot of love at shows. And so I think this is going to be an excellent go-to cardigan to wear around the house or dress up your outfit and, you know, go out, especially in the fall and early spring when you need that extra layer. So, I'm super excited about this. She is going to give away 5 copies of the pattern. And I do want to say, if you are interested in knitting out of our dramaturg base, which is what this calls for, we do not have sweater quantities in the online shop currently. And I don't know when we will have available to ship. But you can always place a custom order. Up at the top of our website is a tab that says custom orders. Just tell us what colorway you want. If you're doing it for this cardigan, figure out according to your size and the pattern how many skeins you need. Let us know that, and the base dramaturg, and we will dye it up for you. As always with hand-dyed yarns, we are going to recommend that you alternate skeins every other row or every 2 rows, depending on how you're knitting your garment, in order to avoid any type of pooling or flashing, even with a semi-solid. I had a sample knitter do this for me, wonderful sample knitter named Kim out of Chicago, whom has been very great to the podcast as well as to Leading Men Fiber Arts, and I had her alternate just as in case with this as well. So, and I'm really glad that she did. So, you can always place a custom order, and we can get a sweater's lot dyed up for you. So there's that. So the prompt for this week, and we're going to pull 5 winners next time we record, is, since it's called the Rosalie cardigan, is I want to know, what's your favorite girl's name? I always think that's interesting. Back when I was, you know, much younger and thought I wanted kids, and life changes, right? But teaching was enough for me. Let's just put that out there. But I loved the girl's name Isabel. It's one of the names I really, really, really enjoy. So just tell me what name. It could be your own name, your kid's name. It could be a futuristic name. Whatever you want to tell me to enter. So it could be Callie all the way down the board.
Yes.
You're not going to get any extra brownie points from me, though. So.
See, you know, my mom's side of the family is from the South, and so we do the 2-name system, so I've never thought about any of my future kids not having a name, their first name going with their middle name. Like, that is just kind of ingrained. And those that have found me on Facebook, you know this, that's what I go by. But mine has always been Veda Louise or Lulu May. So those are 2 top contenders. So
if you want to do a double, you can do a double night. That's fine. We'll let you enter. Doesn't give you 2 entries, though. So hop on over to our Ravelry boards. I'll have that open when this premieres. And 1 post per person, please. And please be a member of the Dramatic Knits group on Ravelry. And we'll shut down the thread and use a random number generator to pull 5 winners next time we record. So let's move into a round of applause. Speaking of contests and giveaways, last episode I had a giveaway for 2 skeins of Knit Picks Capra DK in the Celestial colorway, along with Scarves in the Round book. And last episode, the prompt was, what's your favorite condiment? Because I just thought that was interesting, and boy, were there some interesting answers out there that, you know, I had never heard of, or never put these 2 condiments together to make a whole new condiment. So, pulled for a random winner this right before we recorded, and it chose number 55, which is Shona MCC, who is Shona from the UK, and she said any kind of chutney is her favorite condiment. So congratulations, Shona. If you would please contact me, Dramatic Knits, via Ravelry, send me a private message with your first and last name and complete mailing address so I can fill out the customs form, and I will get that into the mail to you as soon as possible. So congratulations, and thank you everyone for entering. Since we've recorded last, April has come to a close, so we closed the April 2017 Race to the Finished Object contest, and the first prize is a skein of Knit Picks Wonder Fluff, in the Larkspur Heather colorway. And this seems interesting. This seems like a chain ply. No, maybe not. Maybe. Yeah, it's like an I-cord ply, I think. And this is 70% baby alpaca, 7% merino, 23% nylon, 142 yards to 50 grams. And it says it's a bulky weight, though. To 142 yards? I'd say it's more on a DK to worsted, but meh. Hand wash, dry flat. So you can do some mitts or a hat maybe with it. So the winner of this was number 37, who is Sensei Dai, who is Alyssa, from New York, and she did a baker's hat. So congratulations, Alyssa. Please, again, private message me on Ravelry with your first and last name and mailing address, and I'll get this out to you as soon as I can. Next up was a pattern from our featured designer, who is Sarah Abram out of Chicago, whom we love dearly. And the winner for that was number 20, who is Mystery Sewer, and that is Sandy from Ontario, Canada. And she did a hat as well. So, Sandy, please tell me which one of Sarah's patterns. I'll have her page linked in the show notes on dramaticknits.com, or you can search Sarah Bear Crafts on Ravelry and tell me which one of her giftable patterns you would like, and I'll let Sarah know and she'll gift it to you. That being said, we're firmly into the month of May. We do have some wonderful prizes for our Race to the Finished Object contest here in May. We'll pull for a Yanni prize again when we pull for those prizes. And then we do not have a featured designer for May. This is the first time in Lord knows when. So either Callie or myself will be donating a pattern for the month of May. If you are a designer or know of a designer who'd like to start being featured in the month of June, please let me know, Dramatic Knits, and we'll get you scheduled anywhere from 1 up to 6 months. All it requires is that you donate one pattern per month. So there's that, and then, where else are we going? Sorry, meds are kicking in. So that's May. And you must, doesn't matter when you started your project, it just must be finished in the month of May, and you must be a member of the group. So, all right. Do you have anything to add? Ooh, we wanted to talk about our summer. Ernest is here to tell us about our summer knit-along. We were going to do June, July, and August.
Yep. So we are bringing back our featured designer, Cal. So if you want to make so for the month of June, July, and August, any pattern that has been created by the list of featured designers, and it's a sticky thread, and I know that I need to add a couple of more designers since we've last done it. But any of their patterns that they have available, those are up for knitting. It can be a free pattern, it can be a pattern that you've purchased, it can be a pattern that you've won, whatever it may be, but our designers over the years have shown us a lot of love and have given a lot of love to you guys as our viewers, so we kind of want to keep that going full circle. So those are the requirements. You just have to start by June 1 and finish between then and August 31, and then September 1 will start a new knit along. So that's where we're going. You can use any base of any brand of yarn if you want. If you use any base of Leading Men Fiber Arts, you can enter your finished object twice into the finished object thread. That's the only one you can do it in. You can double dip into other people's knit-alongs. We're cool with that. If you can actually get, if you do a Megan Sanders, so if you do this pattern that she created and you use dramaturg for it, you can enter it twice into the finished object thread because you've used any base of Leading Men Fiber Arts, and then you can add it into the race to the finished object.
And I know Amber Yarn Hoarder is doing a sweater knit along. You'll have to check the time frames on that. But any other podcast that you guys, some of you are pros at this knit along thing and double dipping. So, all right. So we're going to go into center stage very quickly, and I do again want to apologize for missing Shepherd's Market in Iowa yesterday. Got got to take care of yourself first, right? So that we can be at other shows. Speaking of that, our next show is the Spring Fiber Fling in Woodstock, Illinois. That is May 20th and 21st. It's a Saturday and Sunday. I don't have the hours off the top of my head. I want to say maybe 10 to 5 and 9 to 4. I'm not sure. I do have their website linked in the show notes, which can be found at dramaticknits.com. So that's our next show, and come hell or high water, we'll be there, hopefully. So let me show you what's been added to the shop recently. We have a lot of goodies to the shop, and then we'll let you go. So we got a new shipment of bags in from Anne at the Silver Shed USA. So let me quickly show you the project bags that have been added. I have 2 more that I need to add that I don't have with me. Elvis is back in the shop. Elvis and his bae, Priscilla. They're very popular bags, and we have a few extra larges as well. It's got the same lining as it normally does, the kind of checkerboard lining right there. These ones, since they're custom printed fabric, are a little bit more expensive. The mediums are $29 and the extra larges are $42. We also have some Leading Men Fiber Arts sample swatches done. This is Mornings in the Backyard. And this one comes with the reverse stockinette on the inside. I love that detail that Anne does. Just takes it a little bit over the top. All right, some regular project bags from her. I'm calling these Totally Retro. And these have some fun polka dot circles inside. The ever popular library bags are back in stock. And these come with a red interior. This is a new fabric. This is Brown Bear. Yet most of the mediums don't actually have brown bear. They have all the variety of colorful animals. I did leave a listing that, I try to take a few pictures, but every bag is a little bit different with the size of the print. I can't guarantee what you're going to get on your bag itself. And these come with, again, a polka dotted interior. And then last but not least, in project bags, we have our Sexy Campers. This has been ever popular. In the past, we've had these quite a few times with a lovely red paisley inside. So those are project bags. All right, let's talk about some gradients. So we have on our soliloquy base, we have a Midnight Rendezvous gradient. This is new to the shop this week. This comes with 5 mini skeins, 130 yards each, 30 grams each, for a total of 650 yards. We do have a new Razzle Dazzle gradient. This is a speckled gradient done on our Showstopper base. This one comes with 6 mini skeins at 20 grams each for a total of 552 yards of 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Each of our Razzle Dazzle sets are one of a kind. We make 10 at a time. We do not write down the recipes, so once they're gone, they're gone. This particular one is Razzle Dazzle number 11. So I get real creative with the Razzle Dazzles, but when they're one of a kind, it's kind of like that lot number, right? And then I do have a new mini skein set on our Spotlight base. This is 79 yards each, 20 grams each, for a total of 395 yards. Colorways are Double Your Pleasure, Out Damn Spot, Barbie's Nighty, Safety Dance, and Popeye's Delight. So these would be great for, especially on the Spotlight base, the semi-solids to have for cuffs, heels, and toes. So if you want to kind of start collecting these and have little mini skeins to use to pair up with other sock yarns, I would highly recommend picking these up. Okay, on Showstopper we have a skein of Poison Apple. Box Office, we have My Lip Gloss Be Poppin'.
We sang that in a staff meeting once.
Doesn't surprise me. Showstopper, we have Breaking Ground. Lovely reddish brown. And on Playbill, we have Mornings in the Backyard. This is what the swatch was done for Anne's bag, the same yarn. That's a single ply superwash merino DK weight. On Callback, our sport weight base, we have You Never Know. Sorry. And on our Show Stealer base, we have 1 or 2 skeins of a director's interpretation. So this is the one of a kind, never to be repeated. Get a wild top. And then we have 2 skeins of Showstopper Intermission. These are 50-gram skeins of our Showstopper base. We have Envy and Auburn. Great woodsy colorways there. So that's all that's been updated to the shop. So, I try to keep the shop updating and things adding every day. Again, you can check out the shop at leadingmenfiberarts.bigcartel.com. And we'd love if you follow us on Instagram. We just hit over 7,000 followers, and that blew my mind. And I'd love to see that number keep growing and hear what you guys like and want to see in the shop. And we are always trying to be innovative and doing something new. So you can also follow us on Facebook as Leading Men Fiber Arts, and our Ravelry group is Leading Men Fiber Arts. In terms of the show, like we said, you can always find us at our website, which is dramaticmits.com. That's where all of our show notes are located. We have our lovely Ravelry group, which is a great community of people over there. We'd love to have you come over and join our group. And if you want to subscribe to the show, you can easily do so on iTunes and or YouTube. So just keep in mind, please, if you leave Callie comments on YouTube, she doesn't always necessarily see those. So I know we've had a lot recently. Those kind of come through my account and my email. So the best way to kind of link her is to maybe go through Ravelry and earburn her, so that she actually gets an email in her Ravelry account that says, hey, you've been linked here, so that she knows to go over there. We're both very busy, but I kind of tend to mod certain threads on the board a little bit more than she does, and I take care of the YouTube stuff. So we do an equal deliberation of work and things for the podcast. So just wanted you guys to know that. So in case you comment on YouTube and she doesn't respond, that would be why.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty much it. We hope you enjoyed today's show. It's been good to get back to the both of us and be able to both talk to you guys.
Yeah.
It's been nice. So here's to me being able to pass this kidney boulder, and to Callie hopefully being able to ease up a little bit with the work.
Yep.
But until we see you guys in 2 weeks,
We hope you
knit something dramatic.